Bannon welcomes the escalation of tensions with Musk. And the visa program starting the war room podcast. I think Rob, is this the one that I'm reading? Is it the exact same one, or is this
is the one
else?
where he tells him to sit down and watch.
Okay, so let me just read this and then we'll play the clip. I think escalation is good. When we get down to it, remember that they're the ones backpedaling. Is this the one?
No, I don't have that clip. I have a separate clip.
Backpedaling, and like I said, when an enemy is in retreat, fix bayonets and pursue. Bannon, who advocates for eliminating the program, argued it contradicts Trump's immigration policy, including mass deportation. Laura Loomer accused. Okay, we know this one. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob.
I've said many times that Elon came and Elon's money helped organize the grassroots effort. In his engineering mind, he saw what the problem was as we saw it, and he supported it. And for that, he gets a place at the table. There's no doubt. You should. It's $250 million in June, not an entire cycle, in 5 months. But that dinner with Sachs and that check from Elon came at Biden's, when Biden, in the debate or right before the debate, and Biden, they kind of saw the numbers of where this thing was heading. They're recent converts, and we love converts. Hell, I'm a Catholic. We used to be in the convert business, not so much anymore. We can't keep what we got. But in the old days, half the saints are missionaries. We love in converts. But the converts sit in the back and study for years and years and years to make sure you understand the faith and you understand the nuances of the faith and understand how you can internalize the faith. Don't come up and go to the pulpit in your first week here and start lecturing people about the way things are going to be. If you're going to do that, we're going to rip your face off. Because you can't beat us. We're not beatable. This army of the awakened is not beatable because we're relentless and we will never surrender and we will never slow down. And yes, if you go low, we'll go to the center of the earth. Because we're fighting for something that means something. We have meaning in this. This is why people watch the show. This is why people come to this show and all this great content people provide us. And Ben Berquam's down now, putting his life in danger again. Why do people do this? Why have they done this for years? Why did they do it for years at Breitbart? Why did when Trump started appearing in 13 and 14, we said, that's the guy.
You can pause it right there. Okay. So this is the H-1B visa. Tom, from the last conversation that we had on Tuesday, I did a whole episode on this, folks. If you haven't seen it, it's online. What's new on positions that you have from research that you've done? Anything new? Anything changed? Any new angles that you're seeing that maybe we didn't think about before, Tom?
Yeah, I won't repeat myself, but I've really dove into the origin under Bush Sr., and it was Bush Sr. in 1990 who took and I didn't realize how really crazy immigration policy was prior to 1990. I think it was like the National Immigration Act or something going back to the 50s, and it put quotas on each country on how many people could come to the United States. And a lot of people thought that was discriminatory, even racist. And so the H-1B was created in 1990, as you pointed out. But what happened? I think a lot of this is going on now. We got people fighting against people that makes the Democrats happy. That's not new. We've been covering that for 2 days now. But what's interesting is I think the real, and I'll say, villain in all this is another unintended consequence of a government program where the government puts a program in place, it's legal, and then people use it differently than you intended. That's an unintended consequence. Are companies breaking the law by using it to hire a bunch of people at a somewhat lower rate and say, but wait, I paid for your visa? No, they're not breaking the law. Can we look at that and say, is that moral or ethical? Sure, we can. We can judge that. Can we look at that and say, you're depriving, and guess what? Unintended consequence, you're depriving other people of having a chance to compete for that because you're paying less. Yes. And so I'm really on the page that the government from 1990 forward, this thing, like a lot of tax policy, this is at the feet of the government. And now you have one side of the government, the liberals, are using this whole thing to get the conservatives arguing with each other. And inside the conservative group, we're all arguing together. So I think we really need to go back. And so I didn't realize how broken H-1B was and exactly how much lobbying there was to keep it and how the bulk submissions were working. I didn't realize the depth of all that. And so my position is just how broken this is, and it's at the fault and at the feet of the U.S. government that needs to fix it. And Bannon, I looked into Bannon saying, because I was thinking, man, what's up with man? He's pretty revved up here. What he's reacting to, there's sometimes when there's something happens, sometimes government, people, citizens, we overreact. We see something happen and we overreact and say, well, we need to go bomb those people. We need to attack those people before we know what's going on, and we get really upset. Well, then we need to go to Afghanistan and flatten it. Let's turn some sand into glass. Well, what's happened here, I think Bannon fighting for the American worker, and a lot of the things he's talking about is for the American worker. He's saying, scrap H-1B, throw the whole thing out, no reason for it. And it's like, wait a minute, we've always had a proper door at the border of the United States so that legal people have a way to come in.
You know what it makes me think about?
But that's my two thoughts.
So I want to go through with you here, Tom, and I'm going to ask questions and let's process it. Audience, agree, disagree, comment below, let us know, and debate it out. To all the respectful people, debate each other out when I'm going through this. So, for example, what percentage of customer service 800 numbers for AT&T or Verizon or anything when you call are in America? How many of those call centers are in the Philippines, right?
or
Philippines
or
India or
95%.
Argentina or all around the world?
The majority.
Do you have the number? It seems like a lot of it.
No, actually, I don't know it. Can you Google
90.
that, Rob?
90.
Okay, over 7,400 call centers are in the U.S., employing 50 or more employees. Okay, fantastic. I want to know the call centers that are not in America, okay? Call centers, what percentage of...
Rob.
What percentage of call centers are not in America? And the way I'm asking is that companies use that they
outsource.
So 34% call centers are not located in America, which indicates 66%. Okay, so 34% that are not... They're where? Can you show more, Rob? Click on, okay, significant portion of call centers located overseas, particularly Philippines, India, due to lower labor costs. Okay, so if you're not for H-1B, guess what? That's only 500,000, of which is what, 65,000 a year with a plus 20 that you can put on that, so 85. This is millions of people that are out versus here. Can you pull up the cost, Rob, of hiring somebody to work a call center here versus overseas? So average cost of hiring, I don't know if this cost of hiring call center employee in America versus Philippines. It has to be there because some companies sell it to you this way. Okay, here we go. The average salary of a U.S. customer service agent is $22 to $35. While the counterparts in the Philippines are $8 to $14. Okay, this is a year ago. Look at that right there, Vinny. This is a year ago in call centers. So you tell me, a company like AT&T, and by the way, whatever next 800 number you call, I want you to ask them, where are you based out of? Okay. They'll answer to you. They'll tell you.
Do they?
Yeah, I always ask.
Of course.
Where are you based out of? Philippines. Oh, and they're very nice. So you mean to tell me in U.S., they're paying a third less in Philippines than they would in the States. And this isn't illegal. This is legal. So if you're not for H-1B, you can't be for this. But let's go even deeper. So if I hire an engineering firm to develop my, an app or whatever I'm doing, now we have to go and see how many of these companies that hire engineers overseas versus here. In Singapore, give me some of the countries, Tom, in Armenia, in India. Belarus, in India, in...
You're correct. Right now, India...
top overseas...
India, Armenia, Brazil right now are really big for dev centers.
What is the... This is not call centers. This is your hiring engineers.
You said apps, and so that's why
to develop apps. Yes, exactly what I want.
India, Brazil, Armenia, Romania.
Okay, perfect. So now watch this. So how do you stop that? Because the H-1B visa, again, is only for 85,000 jobs per year, new visas, and they expire, right? 6 years. Let's say we stop that. Are you not more worried about this? So how are you going to stop this? This isn't illegal. So how do we stop this? By the way, this is real jobs. The engineers from India, that's 74.9% of the 85,000, let's just say, which is what, 85, 75% is 66, right? 85, 70, yeah, 66. If, not 66, 70, yeah, it is 66. If it's 66 coming from India, what I just gave to you right now is millions of jobs. Millions. Okay, if you go and look at the MAGA hat, it says made in where? It's made in America.
Okay.
But if you go and I bought a bunch of stuff for Tico for Trump and, stuff that I got in there, right? He's looking at it. Made in El Salvador. Made in this. Trump gear can be found built in other countries. Why is he doing that? Why are so many people doing that? Why are iPhones built in China?
Cheaper.
Or India? If we build it here, it's $1,400 more, give or take. We've done this before. It would be like $2,400 to buy an iPhone.
Correct.
If we build it in the States. In order to do that, you have a bigger problem, guys, in America. The moment we went off the gold standard, shit hit the fan. Bannon is a historian. The moment we got off the gold standard, shit hit the fan in America. Everything became about, and Nixon, as much credit as we give to Nixon, Nixon did a lot of, hey, Nixon's the one that opened up China. Guess what? 52 years ago, you open up China, and companies realize how cheap labor is over there. Now try bringing them back. How do you bring them back now? Go ahead. You think big pharma lobbyists are going to be tough? Go ahead and tell people that are producing products that are in China and all over the place to come back here. This is not a 1, 2, 3-step process. And it becomes like California, Tom. And guys, I want you to tear apart my argument and see where I have leaks. I'm just trying to logically think about how we address this, because bring it back to California. What's California doing? California is saying, we're going to force you to insure houses in areas where fire happens.
We're leaving.
Okay, we'll do it. Rates went up 70%. No, you have to control the rates. Okay, no problem. We're out.
Yep.
So now watch. We're going to force you to make all the products in Apple phone be made in America or else. Okay, we'll do it. $2,800. Right. What?
Yep.
We're going to make you to buy these tags here. We're going to make you buy these shirts here. No problem. It's $148. What are you talking about? Everything becomes Chanel overnight. $800. So this is there is one to be loud and noisy and you're not going to do this to us. I get that because of the pride. Then the other part is, can we reason? Like, I don't know. Because if I'm really trying to keep the jobs in America, let's try to keep those call centers in America. Those are good jobs. $25 an hour. You know what that is? It's $50,000 a year. Those are okay jobs. You know, if you want to get those engineers that are going out there and developing apps in Armenia or other places, keep them here. How do you do that? You can't, because it's not illegal. I don't understand what happened with the H-1B on 85,000. Don't get me wrong, the abuse is there, but do we not want the talent? By the way, I looked up to see what are the famous H-1B visa folks in America. Do you know the CEO of Microsoft? Satya Nadella. He's an H-1B visa.
Yep.
Do you know the CEO of Google? Sundar
Pichai.
Hey, guess what? H-1B.
Yeah.
Do you know the CEO of Adobe? Shantanu Narayan? They're from H-1B. By the way, do you think they got the jobs because they pay them less? No. What is Satya Nadella's net worth, Rob? Can you go type in Satya Nadella's net worth or salary? Oh, you screwed up the name. That's no, you are like
Santa Ana.
Yeah, what he put
Santa
Satya
Ana.
Dallas. No, what he typed in is a whole different story.
Oh, you typed Santa.
Yeah, but to me, yeah, $1.4 billion net worth. You think they're paying them less to save money? No. Do I think the abuse is happening? 100%. Do I believe the abuse is happening for cheap labor? 100%.
Yeah.
But if your criticism is going to be cheap labor, you have to go to cheap labor to what? To call centers. Okay, do it. You know what happens? What are you paying for your phone service right now?
But let's say $75 a month.
Okay, it's going to be $150 a month.
Yeah, see, and that's what,
that's what I'm trying to say.
I get it. No,
So I get what we're debating, but so then, how the hell is our median income in America the same as it was? I mean, we've grown a little bit, but not a lot of it. Average price of home price have exploded, not income. So the argument is right that we're losing jobs to these other countries, but instead of like arguing, you better or else, give your solution. How do you go off back to how do we get back on a gold standard? We've already opened up China. You think trade with China is going to stop? You think trade with these other Taiwan making the chips that were desperately needed? Do you think that's going to stop? We're in here.
Can I ask you a question? What's the percentage of the people that, mind you, I'm America First. I know Steve Bannon. Like, imagine what he's been through. Just got out of freaking federal prison for January 6th, which he didn't even do anything. But what's the percentage of Americans do you think that are America First, pro-America, the hell with H-1B, the hell with that would be willing to pay the money?
Yeah, it's not. It's not about.
That's what I'm saying. What's the percentage?
No, it's not about. First of all, we need Steve Bannon to keep saying things
I respect.
like this.
That's
what
I like.
What Steve Bannon's saying, this makes you do is what? Let me go look at it deeper what he's saying. But what we need from Steve a little bit more is break it down. Put a 15-step process. What's your 15 moves? First, let's do this. Then let's do this. Then let's do this. Great. Okay, good. Now there's a plan. But then whatever you take money away from resources here, something else takes a hit. You got 4 kids. You say, I only got 20 hours a week with my kids to commit to one of their sports. You put 20 hours into one of your kids, the other 3 kids are going to be like, hey, what are we doing here? There has to be okay, I'm going to help this guy go out there and make the basketball team. What about the other 3? Then things dropped off. You have to know there is a so all I'm thinking about is we're all about America first. We're not about a organization. But what is America first? America first is America winning. I get it. At what cost? And whatever you think you can handle, can the average person handle paying 50%, 60% more for an iPhone? Would the average person be okay with phone prices going higher? Our rates going higher? Double customer service? That cost has to get somewhere. Margins have to be made. So, I don't know. I think the reasonable people need to sit in a room and come up with a plan to hash this out and doing their best to minimize emotions. And if somebody says, let's do this, what about happens with this? Let's do that, what happens with this? Tom?
I think you brought up something great about the emotions because over the weekend, it was basically New Year's Day yesterday, sorry. I was also looking at the numbers and the 500,000. Vinny, what is the most credible number that's given to the amount of illegals that have come in, say, the last 36 months since the end of COVID? The most credible number.
The most credible, meaning that the government's telling us?
Well, government, there's independent analysts out there. There's a lot
10 million is, which I think it's double that, but I'm just saying.
Okay, well, let's just say
10 million.
It's 10 million. So let's say there was 10 million people that have come into undocumented
illegals,
undocumented pedestrians, whatever you want to call them, so no one gets upset.
Yeah, whatever.
So let's say there's 10 million of them.
Yeah.
How many H-1Bs are we talking about?
In those illegals?
No, total. Second.
Oh, so what'd you say? 85,000 in 1 year?
It's 65,000 plus the additional 20 that they get to approve, which is always typically 85,000.
Let's say 85,000.
But right now, there's about 500,000 of them in place, correct?
That's right, 500,000 of them in place.
So in other words, the H-1B it just struck me because I was using a number bigger than 10. I'll use your 10.
Okay.
10 million is 20 times the size of the H-1B argument. And I'm like, look, people are making points about H-1B and we can sit down and talk about it. But I felt like the emotion and the flames and everything on H-1B blew through the roof.
Yeah.
And it's like when people talk about, hey, we're really upset about teenage drinking in Texas. Meanwhile, the fentanyl crisis is 32 times bigger. I looked those numbers up too. Yeah. And so sometimes the emotions in an argument blows the roof off of the debate hall. And you really step back to go, wait a minute. Is H-1B process broken? Everyone agrees it's broken. Not everyone agrees on what the solutions are. But there's not one person on either side of the argument, including Elon Musk and Vivek, who are saying it's not broken. They're all saying, and I'm saying unintended consequences. I'm saying it's the government. So let's go back and fix it. And yet we're talking about something that at the least is 1/20th, which is 5% of the bigger immigration question.
Yeah, which is, to me, it's 20 million. So I went low.
That was my perspective moment yesterday. It was like, wow.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
So I'll just weigh in real quick. What's the book that Trump wrote? The Art of the Deal. Well, time to make a deal, baby. So I don't think this is actually a bad problem. By the way, I don't think the average American is waking up and thinking, what's going on with that H-1B visa situation? If you polled the average American and asked them what the H-1B visa was, they'd be like, yeah, I got no freaking clue. The average American.
They thought it was a virus. They think it's a virus.
Oh, we don't need one of those. But I do think that Trump, who is Trump aligned with? Is he more aligned with Elon and Vivek? Is he more aligned with Steve Bannon and the Laura Loomers of the world and the Stephen Millers of the world? Well, the answer is both. Like I said before last show, there's MAGA 1.0 and MAGA 2.0.
Do you have anything new
Time to make a deal.
New. Is it the deal?
I think he's going to sit down, make a deal with these two guys. By the way, if I'm Steve Bannon and I just got out of jail, the best thing for my personal reputation, for my personal brand, is going to war with Elon Musk. Are you freaking kidding me? Great for Steve Bannon, but do you really, Steve Bannon, want to go to war with Elon Musk? Horrible decision. He's saying, oh yeah, we love converts in our church. But Elon Musk, you got to sit in the back of the room. Homie, I just gave you $250 million. I'm sitting at the front row. Stop it. Don't even play this game with me. So MAGA's going to have this conversation with MAGA 1.0 and MAGA 2.0. And we're going to see what's going to happen. But if you're the art of the deal, if you're Trump, you're saying that the system's broken. Bannon has a point. Elon Musk has a point. You'll figure it out, won't you?
I think so.
He will figure it out.
Is this going to be the issue that divides MAGA?
No, but
Hell no.
But it is something that, again, you need more perspective to see what the bigger problems are. Okay, I'll never forget. I got back in the days. I wrote a Jerry Maguire type letter to an insurance company I was a part of. 9 points I suggested we improve the company. And a guy pulled me aside one day and he says, look, when you're dealing with the company that you're dealing with, $400 billion company, every year, instead of making asks for 10, 15 different things, what is the most important one? Make that ask, okay? And then go through that. Everybody has their own ask. This all of a sudden became a very easy way to pin people to be pro-Trump people, pro-Musk people. And that's exactly what the people on the left and the establishment want. Because behind closed doors, guess what people are saying now? Trump, you're right. Musk is wrong. And behind closed doors, people are saying what? Musk, you're right. Trump is wrong. And if those people that are saying that are influential people that are friends and allies, it's an issue. So my concern is for them to be able to figure this part out. Okay, so that's a whole separate issue. Vinny's got an announcement for you guys. A new product is out for all the angry patriots out there. Go ahead, Vinny.
Well, we've been waiting for it for a while. We did a couple test runs, but boom, Angry Patriot, future looks bright on the side, and we got the American flag in black and white. And guys, this isn't like the normal, what are the ones that we have, Pat, that are like more golf? This is more of a flat brim. I mean, it still bends and it looks sick, and yeah, they're out. So if you want to rock the Angry Patriots, boom, Rob, link.
American flag on the side. The future looks bright on the other side.
On the side, nothing. The back is just regular, but it's like a 59.9. It's a sick hat.
This will go fast, guys. So if you want an Angry Patriot hat, go place the order. If you love Vinny, place the order of the hat.
Yahtzee.
Okay. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.